Arsenal are fighting on four fronts. They are 5 points clear at the top of the Premier League. They are through to the FA Cup quarter-finals. And on Wednesday night, they head to Germany to face Bayer Leverkusen in one of the biggest matches of this entire season. But right now, the injury news coming out of the club is starting to look genuinely alarming. And every single Arsenal fan needs to understand exactly what is going on before Wednesday arrives. Welcome to Isaac Arsenal Update. I am Isaac. If you are new here, subscribe right now, hit that like button, turn on your notifications, and please stay with me until the very end of this video because I am going to break down every injury, every tactical consideration, everything you need to know about the state of this Arsenal squad, and give you a full preview of what awaits us in Leverkusen. This one matters. Let us get into it. Right, let us start with what happened on Saturday at Mansfield, because the result was good. 2-1, we are through. But the manner of the afternoon left a very uncomfortable feeling. Mikel Arteta made 9 changes. 9. He rotated as heavily as he possibly could, clearly trying to protect his key players ahead of the Leverkusen first leg. The thinking was sound. The execution, unfortunately, handed us 2 more injury concerns we simply could not afford. Leandro Trossard went down late in the first half. He was not comfortable continuing. He had to come off. And Piero Hincapié came on in his place as Arteta adjusted his shape. Then, in the second half, Ricardo Calafiori, who had shifted across to left back to cover for Trossard, picked up a problem of his own. He was taken off. 2 players who started the match as rotation options to protect the senior squad, both limping out of a third-tier FA Cup tie on a bobbly surface at Field Mill. That is not the script anyone at Arsenal wanted to write going into this week. Now Arteta addressed both situations after the match. And I want to be precise about what he said, because the language matters. He described them as little niggles. He said they were not comfortable continuing. He acknowledged that the playing surface at Mansfield, uneven and bobbly, likely played a role in both incidents. And critically, he said both players will be assessed. That word, assessed, tells us that as of Saturday evening, neither injury has been confirmed as serious, and neither player has been ruled out of Wednesday. That is the confirmed status. They are being assessed. We do not yet know the extent of either problem, and until the club provides an update, everything beyond that is speculation. But here is where I need you to understand the full picture, because those 2 niggles do not exist in isolation. They land on top of an already stretched and battered squad, and Arteta himself pulled back the curtain on just how bad the situation actually is. When he was asked after the Mansfield match about Declan Rice, Martin Zubimendi, and Gabriel Magalhaes, all 3 of whom were left out of the matchday squad entirely, he gave an answer that should genuinely concern every single Arsenal supporter. He said, and I am being precise here, that they have been carrying issues. He said the volume of matches Arsenal have played has been super demanding, and that this was the only window available to try to clean those issues before the next sequence of games begins. Think about what that means. Declan Rice, our engine, our leader in midfield, the man who sets the entire tempo of this Arsenal team, has been carrying a problem. The club has been managing it quietly. Martin Zubimendi, who arrived from Real Sociedad and has been excellent in his first season in England, same situation. Gabriel Magalhaes, our first choice centre-back alongside William Saliba, same story. 3 of our most important players quietly carrying knocks throughout this period, and this was supposed to be the week where they could be rested and treated and given the best possible chance of being ready for Leverkusen. Now, with Trossard and Calafiori also picking up niggles, the week just got more complicated. I want to be clear that Rice, Zubimendi and Gabriel being rested was planned. They were not emergency absences, but the fact that Arteta confirmed they have been carrying issues means their availability for Wednesday is not guaranteed. It is developing news. We expect them to be involved. The plan was always to rest them against Mansfield precisely so they could feature against Leverkusen. But until we see the team sheet on Wednesday, nothing can be taken for granted. Then there is Martin Odegaard, our captain, the man who makes this team tick in ways statistics can never fully capture. He missed the Chelsea Premier League match with a knee issue. He was not risked against Mansfield. His status for Wednesday remains uncertain. Arteta has not confirmed him fit. He has not ruled him out. This is another situation being monitored day by day. Losing Odegaard in a Champions League knockout tie against a side that reached the final of this competition just 2 years ago would be a significant blow. His creativity, his pressing triggers, his leadership in the press, all of it becomes irreplaceable at the highest level. And Bukayo Saka, my word. When I think about what Saka went through to come back from that hamstring surgery around Christmas, what he has put himself through to be available for this Arsenal team, and then I see him coming on with 15 minutes left at Mansfield as a managed cameo, it tells me everything about where he is in his recovery. He is back, he is training, he is available, but he is being handled carefully, and rightly so. You do not rush Bukayo Saka. You do not risk Bukayo Saka. But seeing him out there, even for those final minutes on Saturday, felt like a message. He is working his way back to full sharpness. And if Arteta can get him to 60 or 70% of his best for Wednesday, that still makes him one of the most dangerous players on the pitch. Jurrien Timber was in a similar position on Saturday, coming on late. The Dutchman has had his own injury battles to deal with this season, but he is another one who appears to be on the right side of fit as this week begins. So let us map out what this actually means tactically for the Leverkusen first leg. If Rice, Zubimendi and Gabriel are all fit and available, which remains the expectation but not the certainty, Arsenal can line up with genuine strength through their spine. Saliba and Gabriel at centre-back, Rice in his defensive midfield role, Zubimendi alongside him. That is a platform. That is the foundation upon which everything else is built. If Trossard is not ready, which is a genuine possibility following Saturday, Arteta will need to look at his options on the left side of the attack. Gabriel Martinelli is the obvious candidate. Martinelli has had a mixed season in terms of consistency, but his directness and his pace give you something different. Alternatively, Arteta could shift his shape and use Kai Havertz in a different role. Havertz has shown this season that he can operate across multiple positions, and his intelligence and technical quality make him adaptable. If Calafiori is not ready, the left-back position becomes an interesting question. Miles Lewis-Skelly has been one of the stories of the season. The youngster has shown composure and quality beyond his years when called upon. Timber can also cover there. Arteta will have options, but none of them quite replicate what Calafiori gives you in terms of that ability to step into midfield, carry the ball forward, and operate as an almost hybrid defender midfielder that disrupts opposition pressing structures. And if Odegaard does not make it, which I genuinely hope does not happen, then Ebereki Eze is the man who takes on the central creative responsibility. Eze has had moments of brilliance this season, and his ability to carry the ball and create in tight spaces is a genuine weapon. But Odegaard is Odegaard. His absence would be felt differently. Now let us talk about who we are actually facing on Wednesday. Because Bayer Leverkusen in March 2026 are a very different proposition to the Bayer Leverkusen that many of our supporters are thinking about. Cast your mind back. Bayer Leverkusen last season, under Xabi Alonso, went the entire Bundesliga season unbeaten. They were one of the most talked about teams in European football. They had Florian Wirtz, arguably the most exciting young playmaker in the world. They had Jeremy Frimpong bombing forward from right back with relentless energy. They had Jonathan Tah organising a defence of real quality. They had Granit Xhaka, the Swiss midfielder who went back to Germany and absolutely thrived, leading from the middle, that Bayer Leverkusen that no longer exists. Florian Wirtz is now at Liverpool, the transfer that shook European football, the largest fee ever paid for a Bundesliga player, and he left in the summer of 2025, gone. Jeremy Frimpong, also now at Liverpool. Jonathan Tah, gone to Bayern Munich. Granit Xhaka, departed. Matej Kovar, their Czech goalkeeper, left for PSV Eindhoven. And then, almost unbelievably, the club made the decision to bring in Erik ten Hag as their new head coach after Xabi Alonso departed for Real Madrid. Ten Hag lasted until the first day of September. 2 Bundesliga matches, he was sacked after the earliest dismissal of a coach in German football history. They then turned to Kasper Hjulmand, the former Denmark national team manager, who took over on the 8th of September 2025 and has been trying to rebuild this squad ever since. To their credit, Leverkusen did bring in new players. Jarell Quansah arrived from Liverpool. Malik Tillman came in from PSV Eindhoven. Ibrahim Marza, Eliezer Ben Seguir, Claudio Echeverri, Lucas Vasquez, Loic Bade, all arrived as the club tried to reshape their identity following those enormous departures. And they still have quality. Alejandro Grimaldo remains one of the best left-backs in European football. Robert Andrich is a serious midfielder. Ezequiel Palacios provides energy and intelligence. Edmund Tapsoba is an experienced and capable defender. Alex Garcia, who spent years developing at Girona, is a composed and technically excellent central midfielder. But they are not the same Leverkusen. They finished 16th in the Champions League phase. 16th. They only reached this round of 16 by beating Olympiacos in the playoff round. That is the reality of where they are as a club right now. They are 6th in the Bundesliga. They are a team in transition under a new manager, trying to find his identity with a significantly reshaped squad. And there is another angle to this first leg that I find genuinely interesting. Piero Hincapié is on loan at Arsenal from Bayer Leverkusen. He came on as a substitute against Mansfield on Saturday. He is, for this season, an Arsenal player, which means on Wednesday night, when we travel to the Bay Arena, Hincapié will be in the away dressing room. He will know that stadium intimately. He will know his former teammates. He will know the runs they make, the patterns they favour, the way they press. That kind of intelligence is invaluable in a knockout tie, and you can be certain that Arteta and his staff will have had detailed conversations with Hincapié throughout the preparation for this match. There is also injury news from the Leverkusen camp that works in our favour. Mark Flecken, their goalkeeper, has suffered a knee ligament injury and is confirmed out for up to 2 months. That is their first choice stopper gone for this entire Champions League run. Whoever steps in between the sticks will have less experience at this level, and in a 2-leg knockout tie, goalkeeping can be the difference between progression and elimination. Nathan Teller, another Leverkusen player, has been battling a foot injury since January and was only nearing a return to team training as of last week. His availability for Wednesday appears unlikely, though I will wait for confirmed team news before stating that definitively. So what does this all add up to? Tactically, Arsenal, even with injury concerns, have the quality and the squad depth to approach this first leg with genuine ambition. Arteta is not a manager who travels away in Europe to defend and absorb. He believes in his system, he believes in his press, he believes in taking the game to the opposition, regardless of the venue. The key battle will be in midfield. If Rice is fit, Arsenal control that department. Rice's ability to win the ball and immediately play forward, his presence in duels, his awareness of danger, all of that is central to how Arsenal function as a pressing team. Alongside Zubimendi, who brings positional discipline and technical quality on the ball, that is a midfield capable of dominating proceedings. Leverkusen will look to use Grimaldo's overlapping runs to create width and danger on their left side. Arteta will have to decide whether to deploy a right-sided midfielder or winger who can track those runs, while also contributing to the press. If Saka is fit enough for a meaningful role, his work rate off the ball makes him an excellent option for precisely that task. The threat through the middle will come from whoever Ullmann deploys as his advanced midfielder or number 10. With Wirtz gone, that role has been distributed across multiple players, and finding the creative spark has clearly been a challenge for Leverkusen this season. Arsenal's defensive midfield pairing will be crucial in cutting off those central supply lines. In attack, Victor Gyökeres has been an absolute revelation since his arrival from Sporting CP in the summer. The man took the number 14 shirt, the Thierry Henry number, and has worn it with the kind of goal-scoring conviction that makes you understand immediately why Arsenal moved heaven and earth to sign him. His hold-up play, his movement, his finishing, he gives Arsenal a focal point in attack that they have not had in recent seasons. And in a match where chances may be at a premium, having a striker of that clinical quality could prove decisive. Now I want to address something directly. There will be supporters watching this who look at the injury list and feel anxious. And honestly, the anxiety is understandable. This is a long list of important players dealing with physical issues at the most demanding point of the season. But I want you to see the other side of this. Arsenal are 5 points clear, right? And at the top of the Premier League in March, 5 points. with a game in hand in some scenarios, depending on fixture progression. They have just come through one of the most intense runs of matches this club has faced in years, playing across 4 competitions simultaneously, and through all of that, they are still standing at the summit of English football. They are in the Champions League round of 16. That is where this squad belongs, and they have earned the right to be there. They are in the FA Cup quarter-finals, 3 rounds from Wembley. Every player who has been carrying an issue has done so while this team has continued to win matches and accumulate points. That speaks to the depth of this squad, the quality of the medical and coaching staff, and above all, to the mentality of these players. They have been playing through discomfort. They have been giving everything they have for this football club, for each other, and for every single one of us watching. The next 2 weeks before the international break are going to define a huge portion of this season. The Leverkusen first leg on Wednesday, the 11th of March at the Bay Arena. The second leg back at the Emirates on Tuesday, the 17th of March. Whatever happens in the Premier League in between, these are the matches that will be remembered. These are the nights that tell you what a team is made of. And I genuinely believe this Arsenal squad, even carrying the injuries they are managing right now, is capable of going to Germany and performing. I believe they are capable of coming back to the Emirates with the tie in a strong position. I believe in this manager, in this system, and in these players. But what I want more than anything is for this club to take the medical updates seriously, to not rush anyone back before they are ready, and to trust in the depth that has been built across this entire squad. Arteta has shown throughout this season that he trusts his rotation players. He trusts Miles Lewis-Skelly. He trusts Ethan Nwaneri. He trusts the players who wait for their opportunity and then take it when it comes. That culture of depth is what makes this squad capable of competing on 4 fronts simultaneously. So here is where we stand as a fan base heading into this massive week. Trossard and Calafiori are both being assessed. Those are the 2 confirmed injury concerns from Saturday. Rice, Zubimendi, and Gabriel were rested with issues, but are expected to be in contention. Odegaard is a genuine doubt, and his fitness update will be the one I am watching most closely as the week progresses. Saka is back and being managed carefully. Timber is available. Hincapi will bring insider knowledge of our opponents. Leverkusen have lost Wirtz, Frimpong, Tah, and Xhaka. Their goalkeeper is injured. Their manager is still finding his feet. They are 6th in the Bundesliga. Arsenal are top of the Premier League. Arsenal are in 4 competitions. Arsenal are ready for Wednesday night. I am Isaac. This is Isaac Arsenal Update. If you found this breakdown valuable, please subscribe right now. There are thousands of fans joining this channel every single week, and I want you to be part of that community. Drop a comment below. Tell me what you think about our injury situation. Tell me who you think starts the first leg. Tell me whether you think Arsenal progress in this tie. I read every single comment. Hit that like button. It helps this channel reach more Arsenal fans around the world. Turn on your notifications so you do not miss a single update this week, because I will be covering this Leverkusen tie from every angle leading up to kickoff. Stay passionate, stay informed, and above all, stay Arsenal.